Hello, we're in our next video in our series of how to build or start your apparel decorating business. We have talked so far about how I would start and maybe something that you can add to your business if you already have a business up and running. So we recommended that you start with a vinyl cutter and a heat press, get that part of your business going. The next step we thought would be to add sublimation to your business, which would give you some other opportunities for products that you could do. Today, I'm going to talk about two areas where a lot of startup businesses kind of seem to migrate to next that I would recommend that you not go into. So it saves you a lot of time and money and research. The first area is DTG. My company, we did DTG for about 7 years. We bought two DTG printers during that time. And we found it very, 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 very difficult to make money with DTG. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's a direct-to-garment printer. It is like a big specialized computer printer, kind of like the one that prints on paper, but much more sophisticated and built to print on garments. The DTG printer can do some fabulous things. You can print photographic images and just print one shirt. There's no setup and all that kind of thing. But your DTG printer is going to cost you somewhere between $18,000 and $30,000, depending on which kind you're going to get. It's very, very difficult to make enough money. It's kind of made to print a smaller number of shirts, but be able to put a lot of different colors on them. It's very difficult to charge enough to make money with this printer. There are obviously businesses that do that and able to make money, but I'm talking about your ordinary business like ours. We just found it very difficult to make money. You also have what's called pretreatment that has to happen with your DTG printer, which is a kind of a messy process. You either need a machine to do it for you, which is another $3,000 or $4,000, or you have to do it by hand, which is very difficult to get the right amount. And if you don't get the right amount of pretreat on the garment, the image will not stay on the shirt for the life of the shirt. And you have to almost get that dialed in almost perfectly to get the images to stay on the shirt for a long period of time. So the DTG process, the advantage of it is, again, you can do photographic images and just do one shirt. You can do 8-color print and just do one shirt, which makes it, with any of the other processes we've talked about, it would take forever or it's just not make sense. But you're going to spend so much money on the machine. And then it takes, you have to, the process is you preheat the garment, you then pre-treat the garment, then you have to cure the pre-treat, then you have to put the shirt on the machine, assuming you've already got your artwork ready. The machine has to print the garment, then you have to cure the garment on the heat press. So the process obviously if you're doing production, you have all, you're printing a shirt and you're pre-treating the next shirt and you're getting, doing all this in production. But if you just had to do one shirt, it might take you 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to do that one shirt with the DTG process. Like I said, if you're doing production, you can do them a lot faster than that. But still, it takes some time to do the shirt. So it makes it very difficult when you're paying that kind of money for the machine and everything you need for the machine, for this to make sense and to make any money. You just have to charge $30 a shirt or more and to make any profit. And we just found that very difficult to charge $30 for one T-shirt in our market. So, and then the machines can be very temperamental. That you have to, they're getting better and better as far as the maintenance, but if you don't perform the cleaning and the maintenance every day on the machine, if you don't use the machine every day, you can really have problems with it. And if your print head gets clogged, you have to order another print head, and that can cost you up to $1,000. So I would just highly recommend you stay out of the DTG business. We eventually just kind of, I guess, gave up on this part of the business and sold our printers and just got out of it totally, because we just found it very difficult to make money with it. The other thing that I would probably stay away from, now we never bought one of these, we researched it, and it's several times thought about buying one, but we just stayed away from it. And just from my research, I would also stay away from the white toner printers. While they can do some really neat things too, you're going to spend between $6,000 to $8,000 on a white toner printer. These printers, kind of like the Oki brands, there's a couple other brands that are out there, but the Oki's probably the most famous. You print out on a piece of paper, and it'll print white toner, so you can print white on a dark shirt, and you then transfer. There's a couple of steps that you have to do to transfer the image you've printed out on paper onto the shirt. Everything that I've researched particularly if you're doing an image that's solid, the images tend to crack over 5 or 6, 10 washes. Some people, feel like if the image lasts 10, 15, 20 washes, that's good enough. I just particularly myself think that if I'm going to sell a shirt to a customer, that it ought to last as long as that customer ever wants to wear that shirt without any cracking or any issues with the print. And the white toner printers, just have issues with over the long term of the prints holding up on the shirts. They also have a heavy hand. So, like for example, the DTG has a real nice hand. You can't even hardly tell there's an image on the shirt. When you use the white toner printers, the images, particularly if it's a big, full image that is solid all the way on the image, it has a very heavy hand. It almost feels like a big heavy piece of paper that's been attached to the shirt. And so, if it was me, I would stay away from the Oki, the white toner printers as well, because everybody's different. If you're okay with, I'm going to sell this shirt for, $20, $25, and the customer's going to wash it 5, 6, 8 times, and it's going to start to crack. The image starts to crack. Then maybe you could be okay with doing that. I just personally don't feel like I want to sell something and then that is the case. I want that image to stay on that shirt just like the day that I sold it to them, even after they've washed it 30, 40, 50 times. So those are two things that cost a lot of money. They can do some really beautiful things, and that's what tempted me to the DTG. Is you can just, with no skill as far as artistic or anything, to do a sublimated or to do a process print and screen printing is very labor intensive. Lots of screens. You really have to line up the screens just perfectly, and then you have to have a large volume of shirts in order to do that. So the fact that you could just do one shirt and make this beautiful photographic image on a shirt really pulled me to DTG. But over time, I found out that it's just very difficult to make money. So these two processes, if it was me, and again, this is just my opinion, there are people out there that use these two processes and make money with them, but just ordinary business, run-of-the-mill business in hometown USA, I don't think it's possible to make good money with these two processes, considering the investment it takes, and on the DTG end, the maintenance on the machine, that type of thing with it. The process itself has to be dialed in really, really well for the images to stay. You can, the images with the DTG, if you do it really, really well, they will stay on the shirt for the life of the shirt. But if you're a little off, you really have to nail that process. It will not hold up over time as well. So if it was me, I would stay away from DTG and I would stay away from the white toner printers. Hope this helps somebody. Thanks.